Yeah, hi. So good morning and good evening. So in the last class, we have discussed about Express.js routing. So we finish how to make a server with Express.js and routing, and we also displayed, the CSS website as a view part. All the HTML pages we have displayed. And now today, let me configure the Bootstrap to the Express. Okay, so let's make a Bootstrap website, a simple Bootstrap website to display from Express.js, and then we'll see the GET request and the POST request how to handle using Express. Okay, so I'll just create a new folder, a new directory, 09 underscore Express Bootstrap. Yeah, here I'll create a separate folder structure. So one is for router and one is for views and one more directory for public folder. And let me create one app.js, the main application folder file. Okay, fine. So now let me install, let me create the package.json. So let me select this, right click, open in terminal. Yeah, here they say npm init. So press enter. Yeah, so package name, just press enter, version, okay, description. So Express with Bootstrap, entry points, test command no, GitHub repository no, keywords no, author, license, enter. Yes, done. So I got package.json, and now let me install Express. So just do npm install Express hyphen say. Okay, so Express.js has been installed. So let's configure the Express.js like a server startup logic. See, dependency Express installed. So go to app.js and let's make the Express.js server startup code. So first of all, constant Express is equal to require Express, and then constant app is equal to Express. You have to call like this, and then sorry, it should be like this. Yeah. So constant path is equal to require path module, and let's make a host name is equal to 127.0.0.1, and port number, let's make 3000, and let's say app.get for slash request. Let's make a request listener which contains a request and response. Yep, here let's say response dot send. So welcome to Express Bootstrap. And lastly, app.listen. Let's make a port number and the host name, comma one callback. So here, let's make console.log backtick. So Express server is started at http colon slash slash the host name hostname colon port number. Okay, so this is the server startup code, and now let's start the server and go to terminal nodemon space app.js. Yes, so server started. Let me click on this, and you get welcome to Express Bootstrap. Okay, fine. So now started and up and running. So let's convert this like a Bootstrap website. If you want to convert a Bootstrap website, you need to have a Bootstrap specific files, right? So what files we need to connect? So let's make that. We need to connect a set of CSS files. So I need first I'll connect to the font awesome. So font awesome dot css, and then I'll connect to bootstrap dot css, and I'll connect to mdb because I'm using mdb dot css, and if anything custom style dot css. Okay, so what JavaScript we have to connect is first jQuery dot js, and then popper dot js, and then bootstrap dot js, and finally mdb dot js. Let me connect all these files. So I have all these files in our bootstrap folder structure. So I'll just go quickly to our mm, online classes. Yeah, here we have bootstrap folder. In that bootstrap folder here, which contains all the supported files as well. So I need this folder. So let me copy this bootstrap folder, and I'll just keep this in public folder. Okay, so bootstrap folder in the public folder, and let me create some HTML files. In the views folder, I create HTML files. So I'll create new HTML index. Okay, in this, I don't need the basic setup. I need the the responsive meta text as well. So I'll delete this. I'll make exclamation and tab. So you get the responsive viewport meta tags. Okay, for responsiveness. And let's make this as express bootstrap. Okay, so inside I need to connect to the bootstrap specific file. So link. Uh, First I have to connect to the font awesome online link. So I'll go to here. I'll just get that. Yeah, online link bootstrap font awesome, and then link dot slash public folder slash bootstrap folder slash css folder slash font awesome dot css, and then bootstrap mdb style dot css. So let me connect to bootstrap dot css, mdb dot css, and also style dot css. Okay, so css ready. Let me connect the javascript files also. So let me add a comment. So bs js files, so scripts src dot slash public folder slash bootstrap folder slash js folder slash first jQuery, and then popper mdb bootstrap. So this is popper, this is bootstrap, and this is mdb. Okay, done. So we have connected this to the bootstrap, and let me write a bootstrap specific thing. Let me create a simple button with a class called btn minus primary. This is something login button. Okay, so let me load this page whenever I hit a slash URL, right? So index page is in the views folder, and also I'll do one thing. So why again doing here and convert back to the router? I'll make a router directly. So in the router, I'll create a direct JavaScript file. Okay, so that is app routing. Okay, so here I'll create a function, let map routes equal to one function. So this is for mapping all the routes, and let me export module dot exports is equal to one object here map routes. Okay, so here I have to configure the paths and all. So let's make express routing. So let me grab this, cut it, and keep it here. Fine. And then let me call this. So let me load the router. So constant router is equal to require dot slash router folder slash app routing dot js, and let me call that. So let's make express routing. So router dot map routes. Let's pass the app. Okay, this app I'm gonna pass here, and here I'll just catch it app. Okay, so let me test this once, and then we'll see. Let me refresh. Yes, we are getting data. That's fine. But I don't need this. I need the HTML page here. So how to get the HTML page? You need to get response.send file. So let's remove this and let's make response dot send file. But I had to get the path module, but I don't have a path module. So let me import that. So constant path is equal to, so require path. I got the path module. So I'll say path dot join underscore underscore directory name, comma, but it is in the router folder. But if you come out from the router folder, you can see the views folder. So what I do, dot dot, sorry, let's make dot dot, comma, views folder, views, comma, index dot html. Okay. So now let's check. But in index html, we have made only button. If the button is coming like a bootstrap button, then it's perfectly done. So let's check. Let me enter. Yes, you get the button, but you have not get the style sheets. So style sheets has not been configured here. It means you need to configure the static files first. So let me configure the static files somewhere before. So configure the static files. So how? App.u, so slash public, comma, express.static. You have to give the public. Okay, done. So now let's make it. Yes, I got the bootstrap. So bootstrap styles has been applied, and let's make a navbar and some basic setup here. So how to do that is we have to make a navbar here. Okay, so don't worry, I'm not writing a complete navbar code here. I'll just get it from the bootstrap website, main navbar, because this class is not a bootstrap class because it's a express.js. So we have already learned bootstrap. So just grab the navbar from the bootstrap website. So just see. Let me go to Google and type bootstrap. So here documentation, um, components. Let me grab the navbar. This I got a navbar. Let me copy and go here and paste I got navbar, but I don't need this form and all. Delete the form, and I don't need the drop down as well. I don't need drop down, and anything else. Disable. I don't need disable link, and navbar bg light. Let's make bg warning and navbar dark, and let's make express bootstrap for the slash request for the home page. Okay, and we don't need this span. Normal navbar only. Let's make home the hash slash. Let's check once. Okay, so you get express bootstrap navbar. So let me keep this everything inside a container because I want to give some space over here. Uh, so what you do? Let me cut everything in the container. Keep it. Okay. So home and link I want to push to the right side. Let's say ML auto. Okay, let me give some space as well. So px2. So we know all these classes, so I'm not explaining much. Yeah, home page. So like this, I need same like a previous Express.js example. So we need a different pages like I'll write here. So first of all, when I make a slash request, I need to get the index.html, the home page. And when I make slash about, I need to get the about.html. And when I make slash contact, I need to get the contact.html. And when I make slash services, I need to get the services.html. And then lastly, when I say slash profile, I need to get the profile.html. Okay. So these are the HTML pages I want to configure for my website. Okay. So let's make the links also. So first of all, home is done. Let's make about us. So link will be slash about. Okay. So let me copy this and paste it. So about us and services. This is profile, and lastly this is contact us. And let me modify the paths as well. This is services and this is profile and this is contact. So we have a slash about us, services, profile, and contact us. Then let me configure this path in Express.js routing and also make the specific HTML pages. First, let me finish this HTML page completely and then we'll copy for some other pages. So we had done only a home page with the navbar. Let's make some more content here. See, I got all the links. So let's make some content over here. So I'll write some jumbotron. So let me go to the components. Here there is something called jumbotron. Yeah, let me grab the jumbotron here. So copy this, go here. So below this, add jumbotron, or let's say a main content section. So let's make a section in that passage. So let's check. We got a jumbotron, but I need not hello world, and also let me keep this inside a container. Oh, it's not looks good. Do one thing. Let me keep these things inside a container. Sorry. Let me cut this. Okay, fine. Because I want to maintain the same space here, so I kept inside a container. Fine. And here, not hello world, I just make it as welcome, welcome to Express Bootstrap. Okay, so let's change this little content. So I remove this. So let's make a lorem 40 tab and another. So P with the class called lead and just say lorem 50 tab. Okay, looks good. And the button. So let me change the button to be BTN minus warning. So let's make a warning button. Yep. So your home page is ready, and let's make lastly the footer. Okay, and then we'll continue for next pages. So finally, I'll write footer. So let's make a comment. So main footer. So let's make a footer with a class called we'll give bg warning and text white and text center, and let me give some padding p3. So inside I'll make a container in that one row, single column, and let's make some very basic footer. So h3, some copyright ampersand copy 2020 comma UI brains. Okay, so below this I write some h6 all rights reserved, and finally let's make another h6 developed maintained by, and let's make an anchor tag href with the target underscore blank. Let's make my name. I'll give my GitHub link. So grab the GitHub link. So I'll keep it here. Okay, let's check. So you got a footer and this color, anchor tag color. Give the class called text to white. Just make white only. Yeah, it's a link actually. And you want to make a font weight bold. Okay, looks good. So when I click on this, it goes to my GitHub account in a separate page. Fine. So this is a very basic Bootstrap homepage. So let's also configure the same pages for all the pages, and then um, we will discuss how to get a get request and post request for the same website. Okay, so go to about us because about page is not there. So we have to do that, and we have also not configured paths. Okay, let me copy paste this once, but before that let me write the routing for these links. Okay, so we have configured them and make a routing also. So here we made only the slash for the index.html, and let me copy this, paste it. This is for slash about, so I need to display the about.html. It's not there, we'll create. And if I make slash services, I need to get the services.html as a response. And when I make slash profile, so let's make a profile as a response, and let's make last one as a contact, and this is contact.html. And finally let's also make the 404. So app dot is a use, and we don't need to mention a path. Okay, so we need to get the 404.html. Okay, this is for the 404 page, and the same way this is your contact page, and this is a profile page, and this is a services page. Sorry, this is a services page, this is about page, and finally this is the home page. Okay, so we have configured the routing, And let's quickly create all the HTML pages and let's check the routing as well. So back to here, uh, in the views folder, we have only index. Let's make all the different pages. So I'll copy this, I'll paste again. Let's make about.html. So what to configure here is, yeah, let's say something called about us and active. So in about to be active. So let's make active there. Next, paste again. Let's make this as services. So for services, let me cut the active here and make it services as active. And finally, here, welcome to our services. Okay, and then let me paste again, profile.html, and let's make uh, profile as active here, profile as active. And finally, let's make welcome to your profile. Okay, next, yeah, paste again. Lastly, contacts. So for contact to be active, so cut this. So contact to be active, and then let's make something get in touch. Get in touch. Okay. So lastly, let's make a 404 as well. So let's paste again 404.html, and for this 404 nothing to be active because it's no page is active for this 404. So let's remove active for all. And finally, I'll write something 404 page not found. So let's make text danger, something red color text. Okay, and let's make change the paragraph also because all are having a same paragraph. Let me copy this once for about. Actually, this is not required, but I just wanted to do some different pages. So extra paragraph I want. I'm just adding about page and some contact page. I'll add not all the pages, only just one or two pages. And mm, okay, fine. Let's check. There's only paragraph added. Yeah. So let's check how it works because we have already configured the routings, and for each page we have given a proper routing also in the navbar. Yes, and let's check how it works. So let's check home page is working, and about us, and this is the about us page, and the contact sorry services. Services something wrong. No such file. Service, see spelling mistake. Services C is missing. Back to here. Services is correct only. Services, but where's the problem? No such file means in this here in the routing. So we says sorry spelling mistake. So we says okay. Profile contact. Yeah. Let me go for the home page. Okay, looks good. About us, services, and profile, and the contacts. Yeah, looks good. Okay, so now successfully we have configured a Bootstrap with Express and with to the routing concept. Okay, so this is how we can configure a Bootstrap with the routing. See, whichever the link I'm clicking, that is becoming active, and we also get in the respective pages. And lastly, let's convert this like a color to warning. I'll just make index here. Yeah, let's make text warning. Not required, but I just wanted to make. Okay, let's make copy this. Go to all the links. text warning, services text warning, profile text warning, contact also text warning, and 404 anyway text danger. Yep. So let's check one last time. Homepage. So about us, services, profile, and the contact us. And when I make anything else in the URL, let me make test is not there. You get the 404 page not found. Okay. So now we have successfully configured the Bootstrap with the routing. So that's how Bootstrap, how can we configure with Express.js. And now the concept is how to catch a different type of URLs in the server side, like get request and post request, and how to handle them. We'll start. Okay. So let's make that thing now. So as of now, any questions? Any question? No? Everybody on board. Okay, fine. So let's convert this like get and post requests. But I don't want to do the changes in the same example because I don't want to mess up this code. Okay, so we is already configured with the Bootstrap, so I don't want to mess up this code. Let me create a separate folder, and there I'll show you how to make a get and post request uh, handling. So what I do, I just stop the server. This is just for Bootstrap. Get and post request, I'll create a separate folder. So let me stop the server. Control C. Yep. So I create a separate directory. Uh, 10 underscore express underscore get underscore post request. Get and post request. Okay. So how to handle them, we'll see. Okay. So here, let me close all. Yeah. Here, I don't need to make anything again, starting with Bootstrap and all. It's a time waste. We have already configured Bootstrap and routing and all. Let's do the copy paste of same thing again here, but extra is get and post request. Okay. So let me grab the public folder, router folder, views, app, package.json, package log.json copy, and in this paste. Yes. So I have pasted and I have Bootstrap folder. Everything is same like previous. Router is done, views is done, everything. But only one thing you have to change in the package.json name. So description is not expressed with Bootstrap, expressed with get and post request. Just for our confirmation. Okay. And also I have to install the packages because I have not copied the node modules. So let me go to terminal. CD space. Oh, I have to go to that. 1 second. Let me select this. Right click. Open in terminal. So just say npm install. To package is already there. I need to just install the module. So just you can hit the command npm install. And also please note, so whatever the files I'm sharing daily, so each files I'm not giving you the node modules folder because it's a time waste because you have a huge set of files. You can generate them automatically by yourself. This node modules folder because without node modules folder it will not work, right? So how to generate node modules folder for every application what you have downloaded? Simple. Just go to the application, just hit the command npm install, press enter. So it will automatically install all the node modules which are configured in the package.json. See, it's done. So now check node modules has created and this error has gone. And I also got the express and all its dependent modules. Okay, done. So this process is finished. And let me make what do you do? But I don't make the same color. I'll change this to some other color because I don't want to make this setup. Okay. Anyway, same setup only, but only color change for get and post request. So slightly go to views index.html, and I'll change this. It's not Express Bootstrap, Express get and post. Okay, and Express get and post, and BG. Wherever BG warning is there, Control R for replace. I'll make it with BG primary, replace all. And for the button, I hope change to, where is that? Yeah, BTN minus primary. So let's make this quickly for all the pages. So shall I copy? But if I copy, I have to modify these things and the class active. Okay, fine. So go to 404, modify this is get and post, and this is Control R, replace, and get and post copy, replace, and the button btn minus primary. Okay, so here it's a get and post request, btn warning replace with btn primary, and also the button make it btn primary, and contact us, get and post request, and bg warning replace with bg primary, and also button change to btn primary. Okay, and index over profile. So profile, I'll change this to get and post, bg warning replace with primary, and here btn minus primary. So lastly, the services, get and post, and replace bg warning with bg primary, and finally the class name btn minus primary. Yes, fine. So I have changed everything. So let me start the server. So go to terminal. Yeah, here nodemon space app.js. Just press enter. So server started, and go here, press enter. Same website only, but oh, I have not changed this thing. Okay, 1 minute. Index, where is that? Text. Okay, let's make a, where is the text warning? Yeah, here. So text warning replace with text primary. Okay, replace all, same. So here also Control R. Anyway, here text danger is there, leave it. Replace, 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 replace. Done. So let me check one more time. So welcome to Express, not Bootstrap, dude. Why it is not changed? Express, get and post. Okay, yep, get and post. So about us page, services page, profile page, and the contact page. And when I make something else, you get the page not found. Okay, looks good. So we have, mm, so we had done this routing, okay, from the previous application. Okay, done. So now let's configure the get request and the post request. So how to handle the get request and post request from the Express server. Okay. So here, when I see get request, so for get request is a HTTP get request. For HTTP get request, there are different type of requests actually. So one is normal get request. So normal get request. What is normal get request is example. When I make slash about, right, I get the about page. So when I make slash profile, I get the profile page. Okay, this is normal get request. Whenever you request for a URL, that particular page is gonna come. That's one thing. And then one more is there, get request with parameters. What is this get request with parameters is, suppose see, when I say slash profile, you get a profile page, but whose profile is gonna come? So assume in real time you have in database you have 100 profiles are there, right? So when I say slash profile, so whose profile is gonna come? Generally it's not actually the profile, so it's like slash profile slash one. Okay, so when I pass one, so the person who is having the ID with one, so that person profile has to come. Okay, this is called profile, I mean get request with parameters. So don't make profile over here. Yeah, so it is like this, profile slash one, I have to get the profile with here, or else you may get like this, slash employees slash some 540. So the 540 ID specific employee has to come here, has to display here. Okay, so this is called get request with parameters. I tell you how to configure all this. And then one more is there, third one, get request with the query strings. Okay, so what exactly this query strings? I think you might have seen this type of query strings. Uh, I show you the real example. If I go to the YouTube, see, when I go to YouTube, normally just YouTube has come. Okay, and here, or else you have, when I say YouTube, see, it is like this, http www.youtube.com/results. So just observe here, when I make youtube.com/results, the results page is gonna come, right? But extra some information is sending over there. What is this extra information is? See, I have typed my name in the YouTube. So this name has substituted as a value, as a value to the query, search query is a variable name, and its value is submitted as a Naveen plus name because they have given a space. Okay, like that. So how can you send the extra information? Not only this normal URL, see, slash result is a URL, question mark, some queries also I'm sending, some like a key value page I'm sending to the server. So how to catch this extra information at the server side? That's called query string. See, results question mark queries, search query is equal to like this. So this mostly we use for search queries. Yes, when you want to search something at the client side also. So whenever you enter the name and click on search, so that particular search query has to send to the server, and based on the search query, I'll just search my details in the backend and respond you with the specific data. Okay, this is mostly used for the search, and this is also to filter. So I need only the person who is with ID, right? So that is one parameters, and you want to get the normal complete page with static is like this. So there are three different type of get requests are there. So let's handle these things now. And this one no need to handle because we all having get requests only, all normal get requests. See here, when I go to app.js in the routing, see, these are all normal get requests only. So slash about services, profile, contact. Okay, so these are all normal get requests. So you can keep them normal get requests. So for any other, like make about page with normal get request. Okay, so that's an example of normal get request. Let's make about an about page. Fine. And next, get with parameter. It means if I say slash profile slash one, I have to get the the specific profile has to come. But also see here, profile page, how I have configured. The profile I have configured slash profile, I got the profile.html. Let me test profile slash one, what happens. Back to the clients here. So when I go to profile, see slash profile, I get the profile page. But when I make profile slash one, enter, see, you get the page not found. See, observe closely. When I make profile pages come, but when I make slash one, I get the page not found because you have only configure slash profile. You have not configure profile slash one. And then, okay, let me configure that. Let me copy this and paste. So profile page with ID one. So I can configure that also. So slash one. Okay. So profile, I get the profile page. So profile slash one also, I'll get the profile page. Let me test the application now. No need to restart because we are using NodeMon. Yeah. So go here, profile page, I got it. And when I make profile slash one, I get the profile page now without page not found. Sir, what about I'll make profile slash two, page not found because profile two has not configured. Okay, here is the question. See, when I make profile one, two, three, four, I don't know in backend or database how many profiles are there. And it's not good to configure, all static profile like one, two, three, four, like in the code base. No. See, up to profile is static, and this 1 2 3 4 is called dynamic, right? This id can be dynamic. So how to configure dynamic links like this is you can make colon id. So I call it as dynamic id, so I'll make it like that. So let's make get request with parameters. Okay, so slash profile slash id. For profile I got a profile page, so profile slash id. So how to catch this particular id at the server is, see, whatever data you're requesting from the URL is gonna get from the request objects. So how to get this parameter is, see, so let id is equal to request object dot params dot id. And what exactly this params is, request dot params, which holds all the parameters for your passing. And this id and this id, suppose you have given the name, it must be the params dot name. So params is actually an object. Okay, let's see the what the param contains and then we'll make it id. Okay, so I get the params and let me print it once, console dot log of params. Okay, let's check what the param comes at the server side. Okay, so request dot params print it. Let me open a console window at server side and keep it aside, and keep my page also aside. I don't need Facebook and Bootstrap. Keep it. I go to profile. Okay, see, when I click on the profile, I didn't get anything here because when I enter the profile, it is for the profile page. There is no console log. Profile console log is only for profile slash ID. Okay, so let's make slash one. What do you get? See, you get the object with ID with the string value one. Okay, so when I make 100, I get ID with 100. I'll make something 500. I get ID with 500. So whatever the dynamic ID you're passing from the client that can able to catch at the server side with the specific data like an object. I don't need the object. I need just the value. Okay, that to the ID means I'll make it as a integer. Okay, number. So let me convert this to a number and ID. So what I do, params dot ID is an object, so ID is actual value, and I want to convert this to a number. You can make number dot parse integer because why integer means I'm not passing 500 dot something, only the integer value. So like this. Yes. Now let's go back to terminal once. Already started. Let's make 500. Yes, exactly the number 500 has come. And let's make some 250. I got 250. Yes. So what is my plan here is, okay, we are catching the ID, but I need to send exactly the response whose ID is like this. Okay, the plan is, let's take some JSON file. I want to take a JSON file which contains around some 500 profiles. Okay, so 500 profiles. So in that profiles, whatever the number dynamically you're typing from the client, so that I'll catch it. I'll filter this 500 employees, and that specific person I'm going to display in a console. Okay, so let's do that process. But I need to get the 500 profiles JSON. For this, I'll go with mockaroo.com. There is one online data generator tool. So I think we have discussed this in Ajax and JavaScript as well. So there's a website called to create some mockup data like that. So just go to the Mockaroo website. Yeah, this one, the random data generator and API mocking tool. So if I go there, yeah, you can generate some random data for different fields like ID, first name, last name, email, gender, IP address. So it's fine. Anyway, ID is there. So I feel like the same ID you're going to pass from the client. So I need this. If you want to change that, add another field. You click on add another field. I want to add a country. So you can just select what type of data you want. So you can just select the location, country. You can select. So a lot of information is there. You can just have a look. So country. Okay. So IP address. So in my object, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 fields are there. And like this, how much data you want? I need exactly 500 profiles. So I'll just select 500 and format. Always make sure you select the JSON because I need the JSON data. And here uncheck null values because I don't need the empty values. Uncheck and then click on download. Okay, so I got a JSON. Let me expand this. Okay, so I got some data, right? Actually, this data has to come from database, but as of now, we have not configured database. So I'll just keep this data at my server side. Okay, so this is the data. So let me copy this entire data. So what I do, I need to get this data, right? So I create a separate folder, right click new directory, something called data folder. Actually, it should be database, but database is not there. Okay, let's make database. In database folder, I create what you call, yeah, one JSON file I creates. So new file, something profiles dot JSON. Okay, and then paste it. Okay. So whatever data I have downloaded, I created a profiles.json file in database folder. In that I have pasted, and you can cross check. Yes, it's having a full of IDs up to 500 IDs are there. Okay, so the plan is whenever you're requesting ID, so that particular ID I'll filter and display. We know how to read this data from using file system module, right? Okay, let's do that. Now way to change app routing. Profile ID. I got ID, so it's not params no more. It's ID because I guess you get params.id, so you get ID. So this ID had to loop it from the FS module. We don't have FS module now. Let's load it. So constant FS is equal to require FS module, and let's do that now here. So FS dot read file. What read file? You have to give the path. Dot join underscore directory name. So directory name means you get the router folder, but if you come out from the router folder, you can see database folder. So comma dot comma database, comma, profiles, profiles, profiles.json and comma the UTF-8 and callback. So this is gonna be the two parameters, error and data. Okay, looks good. And then here, if any error, just throw the error and let me get the data. So this data in a form of string because in JSON data will be in a form of string. So let me convert that back to objects. So let's profiles is equal to JSON dot parse profiles. Sorry, what data? Sorry, it's data because we are reading this like a data, right? Yeah, data. I'll just convert to the parsing and let me do a console.log of profiles. Let me do the all the profiles irrespective of ID as of now, and then we'll filter later. So whenever you make ID, you get all the profiles as of now in the console. So go to terminal, keep this aside, and let me send a request from the client now. So let me client open. So here I'm requesting for 250 and press enter. Yes, I get all the profiles. Okay, but I don't need to get all the profiles. I need to get only the specific profile which is given by the client. Let me filter out this data. So what to change? I got profiles. So let's selected profile is a normal JavaScript is, is equal to profile. There's a function called find. You can pick up exactly the specific profile data. So here you have a function each profile. So return the profile dot id is equal to but this id will match no. So let's make this selected idl catch it. So profile dot id is equal to selected id. So why profile dot id means in JSON we have id. It's a number again. Anyway, we convert it to number, no problem. So id. So selected profile is gonna come and let me print that out. So console.log of selected profile. Okay. So based on the ID, only data comes. See, actually here we are reading JSON data, but generally this is gonna be the database. So you have to, whenever a client is requesting some ID from the client, so you have to filter out data from database. But as of now, we are not configure database. So at least we are handling with JSON. Once it is done, we'll switch to database only. Yeah, so filter out. I got the selected person. So you have to actually find out from database data. Okay. So console.log of selected profile. So let me check what is the ID you're passing and what data you can able to filter out from server side. So let's check. One second. I got a chat. Okay. Okay, please go ahead.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, actually, why we are using here the find function
Which one?
here, the let select a profile equals to profiles dot find.
How?
Find is a method, sir.
Yeah. Find is a function.
Okay, why?
You can
Why
use
we are
for each. Yeah, you can use filter actually.
mm-hmm.
I think filter we haven't discussed in JavaScript. So filter you can use it, but filter will give you an array of employees. Okay. But anyway,
Okay.
ID match with one employee. So you get the array of one employee. But when I make a find, so
Mm.
matched only one number will come, only one object will come. So that's a
Okay.
find. Yeah.
Sir, so whatever we are passing as ID, we are checking in the array in the backend, right? And
Yes, correct.
okay.
Yeah. So I get the selected profile in the console log. So let me check this out in the console. Yeah, let me. Okay, this is the server. So here I enter something 10. See, exactly the 10% data has come here. One, and when I make slash 100, I get the 100% data. Okay, so when I make whatever, let's make some 256, I get 256. So this data is coming in the console log. Okay, that's how URL works. But thing is, we don't need to make the HTML from server side as well. Actually, the process is something different. We need to get only JSON data like this. Okay, so this JSON data will get it, and client side will use normal client side frameworks to configure. The server side only to get data and respond with data. That's it, and nothing has to be done with the pages and Bootstrap. Also, nothing to configure from server side. But as an example, I showed it, and I'll tell you the real example where what is the main role of server side logic, because our side the server side logic is very lightweight, and only client side is more complex, because the client side we're going to use the frameworks like Angular and React. So this thing has to be done with frameworks. This web page development and this whole thing has to be done with the Angular, and this data anyway, same logic, you have to make it server side. Okay, but I am just responding with HTML, but in real time there is no HTML response, only JSON response. Okay, I'll show you that example as well. Just as of now, get and post request. So we'll make that example, the real example, after this one. So ID is done. One last thing is, where is that? Yeah, query strings. So how to make a request with query strings. So let's pass some queries and how to catch the queries at server side. Mm, for queries, yeah, I'll use the services page for query strings. So get request with query strings. Okay. So here nothing to configure for queries, because like I show you the queries like, so slash results slash something. So for us it is something like that, like HTTP colon slash slash 127.0.0.1 colon 3000 slash services. So services is the normal GET request. I want to make question mark. What type of services? So let's make question mark. So service name is equal to uh, service name is equal to something called courses. You want, okay, so only one element you want to pass, key and value, only one you want to pass. Service name is equal to courses, you can pass, but if you want to pass multiple also you can do. So how you can do is, you can use the uh, ampersand symbol, ampersand. Service name is equal to courses, and year is equal to 2020, like this. Okay, or else I want to pass multiple data like year is equal to 2020, and the mode of service, let's make the mode is equal to online, like that. Okay, so let me catch this data exactly at server side. So if you want to differentiate the each key value pairs, you have to mention the ampersand symbol. Okay, so same like in Google. So when I make, see, when I type Mokaru, so slash search question mark source equal to HP and EI is equal to something, and Q is equal to Mokaru, the search query, and OQ is equal to Mokaru and something. So each key value pair is appended with ampersand. So that's the search queries. One. So I need to get this data. So for this data, no special configuration required. Simply let queries equal to, so request object dot query. Let me do a console.log of query. Okay, let's check. So queries, how to read. So let me go to terminal, keep it aside, keep the browser aside. Yeah. So go to my services. So no search query, so empty. And let's make me little reduce this. Yeah, here I'll say services question mark courses. Okay, let's make what you have done. Service name courses. Okay, so service underscore name is equal to courses. See, you can able to catch service name is courses, and you want to pass more. Let's say and year is equal to 2020. So you get that data as well. You want another. Let's make and mode is equal to online, like this. So you can able to catch the query strings also at the server side. So once you have able to catch this data, and this data we can use to filter out the server side, the database data with these query strings. This you can add with, suppose you want to search the courses with these conditions, you can make select start from where courses, where service name equal to courses, year equal something, mode equal to online. You can do a uh, query using this parameters, and you can fetch data, and that data you can send it as a response like JSON. As of now, I'm not showing that with, because we don't have database and all. So I'm just showing only how to catch this data. Fine. So as of now, we have discussed how to make a normal get request with parameters, and get request with query string. This we have discussed. But one thing here in the query parameters is, sir, what if I pass ampersand password is equal to some password, I'll give enter. See, server side you can catch the password as well. Okay, but the problem is you never ever give password in the URL. So whatever data you're sending through the URL is, it is non-sensitive data. Okay, so the public data which can be accessible for even the hackers. Okay, so the public data we can keep in the URL, but any sensitive data like the form submission data and the username, the passwords, so that data you must not send through the URL. Actually, this whatever the request you are sending through URL is like a GET request only, but
Mhm.
whenever you are submitting the form, it must be the POST request. So let's see how to submit a POST request from the client. Okay, how to submit the form data, and how the form data sent to the server, because as of now we are discussing form data sent to server, right? So how exactly the form data sent to server using a POST request, we'll go and discuss. So but for POST request we need to have a form here. So let's make a contact form. Yeah, here I'll make a form now, and then I'll tell you how to catch the form data at server side. Okay, so let's make a form first. Here, I'll go to, let me minimize this. Go to contact.html. Here, the main container where I make a form. Yeah, after this second paragraph, I'll make a form. To contact form, I'll make one container, one row. So call MD for one card. So card header, card body. Okay, let's keep it center. So let's make a margin auto, some gap. Let's make margin top and bottom. Okay, so here I'll make text center, some busy primary text white. So it's white. Okay, let's make contact us, and card body. I'll make bg light, and here I'll make a form. So here a form. Yeah, let's make some default parameters. Let me give the class form group. Inside, let's make input type equal to text. Give the class form control. It's a normal bootstrap. So give the placeholder something username. Okay, not username. It's your name. And let's copy this. So your name, your email, and your query. Okay, something like that. So your email, and it's a email field, and subject text box. Your subject. You can make select box also, but I just make a normal text box. And I need to make another text area. So let's make text area. So with some rows, uh, some 4 rows. Let me get the class form control. Let's also make the placeholder your description. Your description. Okay, so your name, email, subject, and your description. And let's make a contact. So let's make a division with a class called text center. In this, let's make input type equal to submit, and the value goes to submit, and give the class btn minus primary. Okay, so I have made a contact form, and with username, email, subject, and description. And when I click on submit, so here the initial days of the HTML forms, we have discussed a form tag will be having 2 special parameters, right? That
Yeah.
time we were not using much because that we don't have a server. Now we have a server. The most important parameter is first method is post, because it's a post request, and action. So action means the server side URL which is handle your form. So what is my action is /contact. Okay, but we already have a contact, right? No problem, because that is get request contact page. See, we have a /contact. So this is the request get request to get the contact page. But we have now here is a contact again, but I don't want to make you confused. So I'll make contact form I'll take, okay? /contact form. So it's a post request. So method posts and action contact form. I tell you some process here how to handle the post request is. Okay, it's not that easy like not straightforward like get request. Slight extra configuration you need to make. So I'll do that. So handle the post request. So handle the post request. So how to handle the post request is, first one, you have to create a form with method must be is equal to post, and action must be made. Okay, some action, something like login or contact, whatever. Okay, that's one thing. And the second step, you have to make each form field with name attributes. It's very important now. Name attributes. So why name attribute is, whenever you're submitting form data, this entire form data is going to send to server like an object. So for that object, each field is like key value pairs. It's a property and its value is whatever you enter. The property name will be the name attribute. So name colon value like that. So name must be important. And after that, you have to install a separate package to handle the post request, that is uh, install one npm module to handle specifically for post request, that is body parser. Okay, so how to install this is npm install uh, body parser hyphen say. It's locally we have to install, and after that we have to configure the body parser, and then get the form data using directly, let's say request dot body. So here you get the entire form data. So this is the process of handling the requests. Let me zoom it till, yeah. So we have create a form with method post and action is slash login. That's done. And let's make each field with name attributes. Attribute. Okay. So back to here. Let's make a name attribute. Let's make name username, username, and email. I'll make a name as email, and here I'll make name as subject, and here text area, let's make a name as description. Okay, so username, email, subject, and description. That's the second step. After that, you have to install a body parser module. So let's show you, I just show you what is the body parser module. Let me go to the Google and search for body parser. Body parser. Let me go to the npm. So in npm JS also you can search. Yeah, body parser is a very popular module, almost 96 lakhs downloads per week. So this is usually, I mean, we need this for form handling. See, parse the incoming request bodies in the middleware before you handle and available under requested body property. Okay, so we have to install this first. Npm install body parser --- save. So it makes an entry if you write a save option in a installation. See here. If I go to my package.json, I have only Express. Let me install a body parser as well. So go to terminal. Let me stop the server. Control C. Stop. Okay. So let me install body parser. Npm install body -parser space -- save. If I make a save option, it makes an entry in the package.json so that you can install that next time easily. So installing. Yeah, installed body parser. And let's also cross check in package.json. One new entry has come, that is body parser. Okay. So once you install the body parser using this command, and you have to configure the body parser. So how to configure the body parser is in the same documentation they have given. And if you know the configuration, you can write it, or else you can refer documentation for that. So here I show you. There is example. Yeah, they given some example. Yeah. So you can load like this. Body parser, you have to load it, and you have to configure body parser URL encoded extended false. So what is this is, they will encode the URL. Okay, so whatever the data which is sending to the server, they'll encode it. Either you send to JSON format or encode it. So I use the encode option, and then see, this is the perfect one. You have to load it, and then you have to configure it like this. URL encoded body parser equal to encoded, and this you have to submit as a post request here, like encoded something. Okay, I tell you all this. So first of all, how to configure is go to your app.js. Yeah, here. Uh, Let me load that. So constant body parser is equal to require. So it's a third party module. So we don't need to write dot slash, just body parser from node modules. That's one thing. And how to configure the body parser is, okay, I'll make after this configure the body parser. 1 second. Configure body parser. So body, let's say like this. Let's our constant URL encoded body parser is equal to body parser dot some function is there, encode or something, which Here the same thing I want to write. Okay, it's not var. We are using constant. And we are using ES6. This guy not using ES6. Leave it. So constant URL encoded body parser equal body parser dot URL encoded extended is equal to false. So this option you have to configure, and this we have to use it while handling the form data like this extra parameter. See, we generally write path and the function, right? Extra parameter parser you have to give so that request.body you get the form data. Let me configure that now. Okay. See, whenever back to the okay configuration done, go to contact.html now. This is the form data, right? So whenever I hit a submit button from this form, it's gonna send the form data. But to whom it's gonna send the form data is it send a post request and action will be slash contact form. So this is what the path it's gonna send. So we need to catch the form data through this path as a post request. So let me go to the router. See, we have made only get request, all get requests. Okay, let's make a post request now. So here, so post request, so contact form. So for contact form, app.post, app.post. So what is a URL? So URL, whatever you have mentioned the contact.html, I mean here, action. So the same is the path. So let's make a URL as that contact form and post request. Why? Because we have given a method as post. So it's a post request. So make a post, comma, the URL encoder body parser, URL encoder, what we gain? I think it is configured over there. Hmm, okay, shall we do one thing? How can we get that? We need to pass it now. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll just load. Anyway, I'm not handling a body parser here, right? So I'll do one thing. I'll just cut this. I'll keep it here better because I can use it. So cut this. I'll keep it in the routing itself. Yeah, let's keep it here. So better I can use that. Okay, configure the body parser here. And then the same variable I'm gonna use here, contact form, comma, URL encoder body parser, comma, the regular function. So this function is gonna be the request and response. Okay, so how to get the form data here is let's the form data. Let's make a contact form. So the contact form data is equal to, you can write any variable. How to get that is request object. Through request object you only come request dot body. Okay, that's how you get. And once you get the form data, what you gonna send as a response? I will just send response as a contact form only. I mean contact.html only. The same page is gonna load whenever you respond back. Response. Okay, fine. This is how you configure. I repeat again. Let's create a HTML. Let's create a form. Method post action to be something. And each field, make sure you have to make a name attribute. And after that, you have to install the body parser using this. And you have to configure as per documentation. You have to configure. So how is 2 steps? You have to load it and configure the encoded parser and use this while handling. How post contact form, what you have given the form, and encoded body parser and the handler. And here how to get the form data is request dot body and query string send all we know, right? Request dot query string request dot parameter like that. Here request dot body. Fine. And that's body. Oh, let me do a console.log once. Console.log of contact form. So let's see what is a contact form is going to send to the server. And one last thing, whenever I click on the submit, it's going to send the entire form data to this place only. So here what I'm doing, I'm just catching what data you type. I'll just catch it. And as a response, what you get? I mean, as soon as I click on submit, what is going to come here? Nothing. Only same contact page will reload. Okay, as of now, actually it has to make a success page here, but I'll just make only the same page has to reload. I just want to see what data comes at server side. Okay, so when I click a submit, this logic is going to execute, which is having a console log of form data. Let me keep a console log ready. Oh, I'm not start the server. Then how this is working? Yeah, stop it. Yep. So let's make a node-mon space app.js. So press enter. Your server started. Let me keep this aside and keep this also aside. Yeah. And see if I click on home page. When I say click on contact, I get the contact page. Sir, whatever. When I click on the contact, I get the contact page. So this is different. This is what? A get request. So we have configure this one. Whenever I say get request for the contact, so when I click on this contact, I get the path slash contact. So whenever you click on this, you get the contact page, general get request. Okay. So when I submit the form data, that is post request, that's logic is here. Okay, let me fill some data. So my name is something, my name. Okay. So email ID. So Naveen dot uibrains at gmail.com. I'm not doing any validation here. Subject. So need information about something Angular class, something, and your description. I need an online class. Something. So let me switch on the terminal. Yeah, I tell you all the process now. Whenever I click on submit, this form data sent to this path. Here I am catching the entire form data, printing on the console as a return, as a result. Response.send to file contact.html. So same page will reload, but ultimately we get the form data here. When I click on submit, see, you get the form data here. Username, my name, email I got, subject also I got, description also I got, and also the same page has got reloaded. It has to get the success page. That's okay. We get the form data. So this how you will get the form data at server side. So we had done here is we only get the form data, nothing has done. But this form data we have to what do you call? We have to push to the database. Once you get form data here, now from the client we got form data to server, and this form data we have to send to the server for storage. And once storage is confirmed, get the result from the database and send a response accordingly, successfully installed, I mean stored inside database. Just respond back to here. Fine. So we got a form data at least here. So that's how you can handle form data. So now next, one more thing. As of now, what are we doing is we are making get requests, we are making post requests, but we are doing everything in a HTML page. But if you talk about real time, the real website will be. So let me talk about again website, front end and back end. Okay, so front end is we must not use responses from HTML. I tell you, front end we have to use Angular or Angular or React to do the complete front end, like validations, creating the HTML pages, everything like a skeleton, everything can be done by the frameworks. But the data which is displaying on the page, so whatever data is gonna coming, that data come from server. So it means front end will be heavyweight, back end will be lightweight. So back end responsibility is get the form data or any request data from the client and respond with always JSON data. Okay, that's the only handling can be done with the backend. So it will get the form data from the client, store into database, and respond with JSON format. If you request some, I need some list of employees. So whenever requesting from the Angular client side, so I need to respond with in a JSON format, the complete employees list from the backend. So that data I'll get it and I'll loop it and I'll display. I know how to display on the page using Angular. I'll display. And whenever I create a new employee, I'll submit the form data. So form data sent to server as a JSON data again. It stores it. It sends a response back and that display. So I say here client is heavyweight and the backend is lightweight. Okay, so at the backend, generally we are now, as of now, we are making a page also, but this never ever happen. So backend is just an API. API means the application programming interface. I talk about this in tomorrow's class. So here, how to make get requests, post requests, put requests, and delete requests from the clients, and how to respond data. Only the backend API we have to build. That's again a REST API. I talk about REST API also tomorrow. So entire only the REST API things can be done at server side with the database. We can configure here, and after that we'll talk about the client side and how to connect this thing with backend. Okay. So for testing of this REST API, only get and post we can do with the client, and but put to delete and all we can't do with the browser. We need one client, that's a REST client is required. The REST client will be you can use Insomnia or you can use the Postman to test it. Okay, so these things we will discuss in the next class, and also I start with the MongoDB. So how to store data, because as of now we got data to the server and we'll store data to the database, and then we also make an API, and this API will connect with the front end. That's a full stack. Okay, so any questions as of now?